money magic for entrepreneurs. If you have a business or want to create or grow a business and you're looking to give it a metaphysical boost, make sure you watch this video to the end, because there's a lot of ways that you can grow what you're doing from the metaphysical level and increase your business's growth, revenue, sales, and then your own personal income much faster than if you just work in the 3D world alone. So one of the first tips in this is get really deeply clear within yourself for what you want. This just means setting goals. If you already have them, great. But aside from just specific numerical revenue goals, what kind of a lifestyle do you want? What kind of a day do you want to have? What types of people do you want to hire to do the types of things that need to be done, but that you don't necessarily want to do? So that's a really important thing to have down on your list. The second thing that you want to get really clear on is, when do you realistically think you can have this by? When are you ready to have it? Are you ready for it right now? Or do you think you have to do some personal growth, some healing, some product development until you can get there? When you are very clear and realistic on that timeline, then that helps your motivation, that helps your spirit be really gung-ho about it. A lot of times I think, I want to have a company or a business or revenue or sales or whatever of a certain size, and then I'd realize, I may not be ready for it. With other things, I'm like, yeah, I'm totally ready for 10,000 more book sales a month. But for one example, you don't want to overstretch yourself. I was going to create a series of retreats, which I'm still planning to do, but last year when I was thinking of setting these up, I had this perfect 7-day retreat for Bali, and I realized, wow, I need to grow my own abilities before I feel ready and right and capable of leading that, of holding space, of offering, all the value that I'd like to offer for, taking people to Bali for a whole 7 days. That's a lot of time. So, while I've taught 7-hour workshops, I've taught 4-hour workshops, while I've supported people one-on-one, 7 days was a lot for me, and I realized that I was putting out all this 3D work, but inside I didn't feel totally ready or totally aligned with my own training. And so that project kind of went on pause until a point in my development in the future when I'm internally ready for it. So for you, just think about the business and the size of the business that you want to grow and feel, is there an alignment between who you are on the inside and what you want to offer on the outside? So the third tip is really considering who the type of person you are is in alignment and in accord with the type of person you would be when your business is at a certain larger size. And I'm just going to pick out a number from thin air, say $100,000 a month in business revenues. If you're already making that, then whatever you're making, just triple it. So we're in alignment with language here. But if you're thinking about the type of person you would have to be when your business is of that scale and you haven't done the personal development work to serve as a role model, to serve as a leader, to have the time management, the energy management, the emotional management skills to run like a solid, legitimate, big, impactful company that helps a ton of people, then that's something you might want to work on the inside core of your own being in terms of different areas of personal development. And one fourth thing that's really important on the metaphysical side is consider what you acknowledge the source of abundance or prosperity to be. I personally do a lot of work and have a great relationship with Lakshmi, who's known in the Hindu tradition as the goddess of wealth. And I feel that connecting with the aspect of the divine that's responsible for wealth, that is supportive of healing the vibrations of greed or selfishness or things like that, is so key. It is like the best mentor that one could ever have. And if you're open to that, if you're tuned into gods and goddesses, I'd love to help you strengthen your relationship with Lakshmi. If not, then think about metaphysically where the source of abundance, of money, of that divine connection is. Is it the universe? Is it your own power of attention? Is it sigils? Is it a certain other religious or spiritual connection that you might have? Is it your own internal vibration? Once you're really clear on the metaphysical source of what that is, really consider how to strengthen and build up the relationship with that. For years, I had been practicing money mantras with Lakshmi, and I realized I wanted my own finance to improve at a faster level than when I just did mantras or when I just did an occasional, very powerful ritual that had impact. So I actually recently bought a second device. My main phone is an Android, but I just bought an iPod to be able to go on Clubhouse. And when I'm not on Clubhouse, which is 22 hours a day at the moment, I have that phone playing Lakshmi mantras back to back in honor of her, just to bring in and diffuse and infuse the vibration of my room and my space with that energy. So as you consider that source, really consider how you treat that source, how you appreciate that source. Just like you might get food from a grocery store, you don't walk into the grocery store like with a giant, boombox on your shoulder, blasting death metal, right? They probably would kick you out. You treat the store well. You're probably nice to people. You pay for the stuff instead of stealing it, hopefully, right? And so you treat the grocery store well, you're able to keep going back to the grocery store. The grocery store is one of the main sources of food. And if you know how reality works, how reality is more than the 3D, the highest relationship you can have close to source consciousness is the highest representation of, you could say, an individual or relational consciousness that we can conceive of, and that's divine energy. So if you like what I've shared, if you'd like to dive a lot deeper, if you want a real solid and strong metaphysical toolkit, and also interpersonal, personal growth toolkit for raising your money vibration, raising your abundance vibes, then stay tuned, because I have a fantastic abundance and money magic course that I teach that talks about all these things, that talks about self-worth, that offers really strong and powerful practices that a lot of my mentees and clients and students have reported incredible results for. Once I did the ritual, one of the rituals I teach in this course, and I got a job offer for $200,000 a year by somebody I barely knew. Once somebody who is a mentee of mine did a ritual that I teach, and he just had the inspiration to start day trading. And he had never been into stocks, never been into day trading, but he found he had a knack for it, and he made like 30 grand in 2 months, which is pretty incredible if you ask me. I had also a partner that I was dating once who I did this ritual for, who within a week and a half got a 12% raise. And he didn't do anything specific to bring that in. It just happened to coincide with the ritual that I offered for him. So, check the link in my bio and my link tree under workshops and events. You should see this Money Magic Manifestation event. And while I do offer it live all the weeks that it's up, recordings are also available and sent to all ticket holders. If you want a lot deeper support in this area, hit me up on a DM. Instagram is great, and we can talk a little bit about your needs, your situation, what's the best fit for you, if one-on-one work is a fit for you, and if you're really feeling called to work through any small business issues in relation to metaphysics, in relation to raising the revenues while staying spiritually aligned, and while doing solid practices to build your money field. I have a fantastic community group that is private, but that allows certain people in who are, living from or want to live from the heart, and having a service-oriented business, and just want to raise their money game with that business in whatever ways that means to them or that means to you. So if you're curious about that, definitely hit me up, and I would love to talk with you further to see if you're a fit. Just know that I love you, I believe in you, and we are one.